Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new 9.2 review. In front of us is the new Citroen. This is the C3 Aircross facelift. We have a Shine package, PureTech 110 horsepower petrol engine. Over here we have the remote. We can turn on the LED headlights. They're very good. We're gonna test them outside the city in pitch black. It's a nice compact crossover. We're sitting on 17-inch alloys, winter tires, Continental, the latest, I think 870. And here's the rear. Let's check the cargo space. So very decent cargo space, and you have a little bit additional below. Now let's jump into the car. Luckily there's no more rain. It was a bit rainy today when I was filming. The day point of view, which you can watch without me talking. Now this car has a physical key cylinder, one of the rare cars that I know that don't have a start stop. You can order a start stop, just it wasn't spec'd on this car, so you can have it on the button if you want. Let's start driving and engine on. So this is the night ambient. You get a little ambient light here in front of the transmission, and you get a little white LEDs inside. Very basic, but okay. Now this is a 6-speed manual. Again, petrol engine, 110 horsepower. And I gotta say, this car is very light. So 110 horsepower is a lot for this car. It is very fast and responsive. By the way, it has an excellent turning maneuver. When you're in parking lot, you can do a nice U-turn. Speed bumps, comfortable, considering we're on 17-inch alloys. This model has the, I believe, the upgraded suspension, so it is more comfier on the speed bumps, on the potholes, manholes, and so on. So if you're driving nice 40, 50, you really don't feel most of those uneven parts of the road. Now the transmission, it's a little bit long travel between the gears, but if you're used to French cars, this is basically standard, so I don't mind it. It keeps you engaged while driving, although some people prefer the, you know, precise gears. Now some of you will be asking, what's this squeaking noise? So that happened in one of the videos. So this is just my sneakers rubbing next to the rubber of the pedals. For those of you who can't figure that out, I'm sorry. It's just, it was raining, and my feet are not feet, but my sneakers are wet because it's the road's wet. So I apologize for that, but it's really nothing I can do about it. Now, interior of this car, I gotta say, despite being very basic, it is very comfortable. These seats are extra, so just share some light inside. These seats are extra. They have very good cushions. They're nice and wide. This might be a sensitive topic, but for people who are having a problem with overweight, maybe health issue or something similar, no judging, these seats are way better for you, because in that case, because they're wider. And I've talked to some people, you know, who have a little bit weight issues. They say these seats are very good for them. They're more comfortable because you don't have those bolsters squeezing you on the sides. So something to consider. The interior, just a few details. The screen is nice and big, but it's kind of low. Most car manufacturers now put the screen on the top, air vents below. I guess Citroen really didn't bother to do this. And you have a little digital speedo, which is fine. For me, I like the classical needles, the speedometer, odometer. Doesn't have to be always heads-up displays and digital cockpits. And the interior is overall very comfortable. It's some sort of cocoon thing. It's a new philosophy in Citroen. They want you to feel very comfortable inside the car, and this car really is comfortable. It's really comfy. The seats are comfy, and I like it. I like the French philosophy. Now, overview around the car is excellent. You're uplifted, you're tall, sitting you can see the traffic around you better. Good overviews on both mirrors, on the rear as well. And this car is just such a joy to drive. It's very comfortable overall. Now, I've mentioned that the engine is very responsive. There is no settings for the steering wheel. It has a feedback, but not a lot of it. It's, I would say, in the middle, maybe on the light side. Doesn't give you too much feedback, but I think this car isn't intended for some sort of sporty driving. This is just for comfortable driving inside the city and commuting, maybe to your work or maybe weekend road trips. Now, the handling on the road, it was, I would say, good. It was good. Although, if you're really aggressive, this is a, again, compact SUV, sort of, or just a crossover. So the car is tall, and there will be some body leaning if you are a little bit harsh in the corners. Otherwise, if you're driving, you know, nicely, if you adapt your speed, it's actually quite good. There's no leaning of the body of the car. And I was a bit aggressive, not too aggressive, but I haven't managed to lose the back end that was trying to slip. It was just very stable on the road. Now, consumption. So I am driving the car, I would say, pretty gently, and to be honest, I filled the car earlier today, and the consumption is, let me see here, 8 liters. Now, I haven't reset the computer. This is what I've got the car with, and to be honest, that's a little bit high. I was expecting a lot less from this car. The car is still has 7,000 7,000, almost 300 kilometers. So it might have not worked out by now fully, so it might have a little higher fuel consumption. So another little con, the lever for the changing gears, or the shift, it's not, how should I put this? It's not this way. You would think, oh, it's neutral. No, it's not. This is neutral. It's sort of leaned forward, and for me personally, the engine switched off because I thought I was in neutral. I wasn't. Maybe a little con, although the handle feels very nice in the hand and everything else is good, but maybe just a small observation there. A thing that wouldn't hurt, it was just straight instead of leaning forward. But really, it's not an issue, to be honest. Once you get feeling for the car, it's the same. Now, 3 fingers here, it's a shortcut. Let me see Apple CarPlay. Yeah, it's, actually, I'm correcting myself. It's not that bright. It was at the beginning, but maybe they've updated something. So this is very practical, I would say. You can use this screen and let's say Waze. And what I love about Waze personally is you can see, you know, speeding cameras, traffic reports, police mobile radars, rush hours, and so on. Now the engine gives you feedback with the noise. I would say it's a good noise, you know. Have in mind I'm driving now a Tesla personally, but so I'm not really driving regularly internal combustion engines, but it's a nice petrol engine. It has a very nice sound. Now when we're talking about sound, the cabin soundproof is quite decent, up to, you know, regular European speed limits of 130 kilometers per hour. Once you exceed to 150, it could be a little bit noisy because, you know, it's a boxy shaped car, it's tall, so there's a lot of wind resistance. Should be heading up to the highway. A little bit more ways while we're at the traffic light, and let's see, Google Maps. Also like Google Maps, so you have a choice, and you know, that's what I like, when people have choices, when they're not limited to a certain thing. I mean, of course you can use always the you know, Citroen navigation, but it's a little bit dual, to be honest. Not a lot of information there. I mean, it has all the basics of the navigation, but I think it's just more colorful if you go to the Apple Carplay, and then if you have a Google. I thought it would orient me to north. Interesting. To be honest, I don't really use the Apple Carplay because I don't have it in my Tesla. Neither did I have it in my previous Skoda. But I like this feature in new cars. Something that's very very handy. Now on the rear, I wasn't really sitting a lot. I was on a press event when this car was launched, so I think the space on the rear is okay for an average person, like most cars. And car was pretty okay, I would say. Yeah. Okay, green light. I'm gonna be a little bit quiet so you can hear the engine, because the day point of view was full of rain noise. So I wanted you to feel the noise up to 150. This is 100. This tarmac is a little bit rough, and there's like patches of a new which is smooth. Maybe you've noticed, maybe not. We're on winter tires, which is sometimes noisier depending on the tarmac, although they're softer, so they should be actually less noisier than your summer tires, but I think it really depends on the tarmac or the asphalt. If it's more rough, there's going to be more noise. Now if you shift,
hazard reported ahead.
if you downshift, you can easily speed up. Now if you have a full car, if you're going to camping, you have 5 people inside, then I'm not sure if this amount of horsepower would be enough for easy overtaking, but just have your time and it should be enough. Now, unfortunately, this particular car doesn't have the lane keeping assist. It just starts beeping when you're not giving a turn signal, and when you're, see like this, when you're going over the lane, but it's not going to correct you. So I guess that's an option, because it does have a camera, but it just doesn't keep you in the lane. And cruise control, there is a cruise control. It's quite easy to use. It's a little lever below the turn signal lever. You just punch in the speed you want, and it works, but I really don't need it here. Now what I wanted to see is you can have the speed info, but it's very basic, doesn't show you actual sign. So the current consumption is around 6 liters, but okay, it fluctuates, of course. Now I really haven't reset the computer, but I believe you could get a lot better fuel consumption. Maybe when the engine works out. I haven't reset the computer, to be honest. And to be honest, there is like a small, I don't know if you can hear it, like a small whistling sound coming from the perhaps A pillar or the B pillar. I've noticed that today, even during the rain. Now it could be just this particular car, or I don't know. It's not necessarily constant, so I hear it occasionally, so it's not driving me crazy, but it's something I hear, but that can happen. So yeah, I can hear a bit on maybe when you're passing 80 kilometers. But overall, there's really not much to talk about. The car is excellent if you're looking for a comfortable and compact SUV, for sure. Music, I forgot I didn't test the music. Let's play some music really short, because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So I really can't play for that too long, not to get a copyright strike. These are the bass speakers, and if you really put it too loud, the speakers are kind of vibrating through the doors. So this is the bass speakers. I think it's a decent sound for bass speakers. Now I started filming earlier today, so there might be some traffic here. I saw a car in front of us. We won't be doing a 0 to 100 in this video, because it takes 10 seconds, which is a lot. So I don't think there's any point of showing that. I don't even drive the manual transmission this often anymore, so there's really no point of doing that. And they've kind of turned on back these lights, so there's not a patch of no lights, but we're gonna turn to a road with no lights just to show you the performance of the Citroen LED vision. I think that's the way they call it. But when I would need to wrap up the video, I would say this is an overall a great car if you're looking for something really basic, just driving from point A to point B, and that doesn't cost too much money. So you can see here, long beam, short beam. I'm gonna pull to the side here, and filming with the GoPro 9, but it doesn't have the best sensor. It's kind of small, so which means that doesn't take in much to light. So I have the iPhone, which is better, so I'm gonna show it to you with the iPhone because it's just more precise. And look at this, the consumption started dropping to 7.9. I believe with my driving style I would definitely be able to lower it. There's a car behind me, so I think he has enough room to pass me. Okay everyone, so this is the normal beam and this is the long beam. In person it's quite okay. Hey everyone, so this part I'm cutting in. I did a fair drive. If I come close you can see 5.5. My best was 0.4. This is the fuel consumption if you drive between, let's say, 70-80 through the city. That's the best I got. I'm gonna head to the highway, also cut in a part what's the consumption. I've been driving up till now 130 and consumption's around 6 liters, rising. So we're close to our garage. Overall, as I mentioned, great comfy car. Basic but very comfortable and nice crossover. I don't want to call it an SUV, although Citroen does call it that way, but I think it's a crossover. It's uplifted, but I think, I mean, with the ground clearance on this car, I think you can actually even go to a little off-roading, but not some serious off-roading, of course. Okay, let's find a parking spot because I wanted to show you the backing camera, and I think this is okay. Let's do it here. Okay, that's the camera resolution, pretty shitty as you can see. Now the screen is great and this avatar is very sharp, but the resolution is just on the camera not. Now in 2021 I really don't think it should be an issue to get a, or almost 2022, to get a high resolution 180 HD camera resolution. 180 resolution, that's what I was trying to say. And the camera serves its purpose. So I'm usually a guy who likes to use the mirrors, but I think when you can see this, you can see if you're inside. Although the camera maps the stuff behind you. I know I wasn't really aligned correctly. For me the best way is to just look at the mirrors, but when you're backing up it's really just handy not to look for the mirror because it could be deceiving as well. Okay, don't forget your mobile phones, keys, valuables inside the car, and that's it. I forgot to mention you have a little trip computer in front of you. You can control the brightness, but that's all very standard on every car. And there we go. That's the new C3 Aircross. You can see it also now in under the lights. Nice combo. Although I'm not a really personally fan of this white contrast, but I kind of maybe it matches the gray combo, I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you think. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Stay safe. Hope you liked the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you want to see more car reviews in this format, subscribe to the channel and click the little bell to get notified when I upload new videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.